You are listening to an Atomic Broadcasting production, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the feature presentation. And remember, do your part, such as like, comment, rate, and don't forget to tell a friend to tune in for an Atomic Time.
Good time of day, everyone. It's Sam here to make an important announcement to all of you wonderful folks listening in. Records of the Unknown Season 2 Operation Latency has begun releasing over on our Atomic Broadcasting Variety Hour feed. For those not in the know, Records of the Unknown is a horror mystery conspiracy show where we play the game Delta Green. But we edit it in a way that's much more like a hybrid between an actual play like Written in the Lost and an audio drama like, I don't know, Frankenstein? That's a really good one to listen to. If you really like horror or you're just really like cool storytelling, come check out Records of the Unknown. Season 1 is already available to listen to, and there are already 3 entries and a prologue for Season 2 available right now. Thank you for your time. Now back to the Catch Back Up, Recap, Madcap, Old Man with the Facts. Yeah.
Now, where did we leave off? Ah, yes. After breaking out of jail, Neros regrouped with Alwood and Val. They headed out of town to the meeting spot, where Einar panicked at the approaching footsteps and put on Brenga's hood.
So did you guys know that there's now the... lost it all. The domain for IO is actually in a lot of trouble because a specific area, like a country or something, has now been deemed, like I think it's like the Indian Islands or something. Huh? And so countries take precedence. So like anything like itch.io or github.io or
Ohio?
I mean, if there's a website called o.i.
Ohio.io.
It's in trouble. So it's very interesting. Even Google.io.
Ohio.io.
Ohio.
Was that funny, Jenkins?
That got me happy. That got me for no reason.
The British Indian Ocean Territory?
That's the one, the Indian Ocean Territory, IO.
Ohio doesn't exist.
Because they decided to make it a thing.
So what you're telling me is all of these games that aren't actually multiplayer but claim to be multiplayer are going to go away?
Potentially.
I'm okay
Either
with
that or they're just going to have to change their domain, which might be expensive.
Yeah.
One time I got offered to use my name as a domain. It was like $600 a year.
So, like, putting your name after the dot part?
No, like .Michael.
Oh.
Yeah, putting your name after the...
After the dot part.
After the dot.
So a domain is the... You said .io.
No, he said putting your name after the dot part.
Yeah, so I was thinking, like, do you mean, like, a domain, like, Michael.com? Because that would be a domain name.
He means, like...
But you're talking the actual domain.
Yeah.
So the domain name is what comes before the domain.
Right. Okay. I was just making sure I was understanding you because
Michael
I'd never
Michael.
heard of using .Michael.
Jenkins
Also,
and
it gets
Petit
into
open a
tech stuff.
website called Michael.Michael.
Where you can get all your Michael-related merch.
You know what? I think I'm confused.
Oh, really?
I think I went on autopilot there.
It sounds like you just came back from autopilot.
I just went on autopilot.
Wait, at which point did the autopilot engage?
When you disagreed with me.
Oh,
It is the Michael dot whatever, and so that would be expensive.
Wait, so we can't have Michael.Michael?
You probably could, but like you probably wouldn't want to.
Why not?
I mean, like they're coming out with like .xyz, .io, .tv, .audio, .game, all kinds of stuff. So it's probably a possibility, but
yeah.
I'm curious about how
Jordy.
I'm looking at Jordy.
There's gonna
Say
be
Jordy.
There's going to be a lot of problems
Our
today. I've
GM.
done
Yeah.
that too.
The game master.
The gym.
I'm curious about how he's going to try to transition from talking about.
I don't think he is.
Einar,
Yes.
you are a wolf. You feel the ground beneath your paws as you run through the woods, the prey ahead of you, the pack around you. This is your life. You feel the wind in your fur. And suddenly you feel a piercing pain in your side as an arrow pierces your hide, and you fall to the ground, and your world goes dark. Einar, you are a wolf's skin, hung on a line, left to tan, to cure. Over time, you see the face of a bedraggled, dirty old man leering at you, and you know that he has little respect for the natural world and the order of things. Again, your vision goes black. Einar, you are a wolf, angry and violent, vicious and hating of all things mankind. You want vengeance. Einar, you are standing as yourself in just a dark space of nothing, and you see in front of you this angry wolf. You feel its hatred towards mankind, but you know that it will bow itself to your will. Einar, you are Einar, and you are a wolf. And as all of these thoughts flow through your brain, you feel a small form just land on top of you and grab the fur on your back. Zephyr, you have dropped out of a tree and have landed on top of the giant wolf that Einar has become.
So is he actually a wolf?
He is a wolf.
He looks like... Okay. Can I ride you? Zephyr never hadn't ridden a wolf before. Those weren't right words, but he grabs your ears like reins.
Saphir, you're going to have to make a check. As I'm about to throw you off.
All right. Oh, dang, I didn't prepare anything. What check would you like?
I think I would call this a ride check.
You know, that makes sense considering I
Against
asked if
my
I
what?
could ride him.
Probably against your fortitude DC, Einar.
Oh, good thing it's not my athletics.
What do you mean, good thing? Don't you want to succeed?
Yes, but I want you to have a chance.
Okay. Natural one.
So we walk up and we see Zephyr's bloodied carcass left over.
Do you have a hero point?
I don't want to use a hero point for that, but
Don't
you
bother.
just see what happens is Zephyr jumps down, grabs his ears, and starts kicking his heels into the side of the wolf, going, "Einar, mush! This is weird." And then whatever happens, happens.
I do want to interject for clarity for you, Sven.
Yes,
You succeeded your will saving throw and may act as however Einar chooses.
perfect.
I thought we were going to have to fight this boy.
I did too.
I assumed that's what that's what that meant.
I am
I
fighting
figured
him.
you would assume that, but I was like, let me just
He
clarify.
changed
Yeah.
the wolf.
I'm guessing I'm a really big wolf.
How big of a wolf would you like to be?
Well,
Dangerous question.
that's the
The size of Fenrir.
Since you have... I'm not finding words that I like here.
Mastered.
Because it's not exactly taming the wolf spirit that's in the hood. It's...
So,
Since you were not overcome, by the wolf spirit that's bound to the hood,
Mm-hmm.
you do have a degree of control over how it manifests. So you could take on a similar wolf form to how Brenger appeared, just like that massive size of wolf, or you could corral and channel that form down to smaller or more dire wolf size, or even just regular wolf size.
I'm going to say that this being his first time, maybe last, we'll see. When the transformation happened, he kept the larger size. He's not like a horse size, but definitely not Fenrir.
I like how you looked at Sam like he's the one who said that.
Sam is the master of lore.
But more of, he's probably 4 foot high at the shoulder, so that'd be big enough for Zephyr to actually jump and ride
Of course. Of course. I ride a pony.
Yeah. So he's big, but not giant. Zephyr, Einar is just going to give a big heave, like shake his back, and yeah, you go flying.
Which direction? Like towards the tree? Or
No,
like
he's
up-
just getting you
Are you
off.
gonna buck me like a bronco?
No,
Or?
this is just him, like a dog shaking water off of his pelt.
Zephyr, make a flat check.
6.
Okay, so you fall and roll back into the tree line area
Into
rather
the
than
trees.
going down the hill in the direction of the other 3 that are coming up the hill.
Well, that's kind of my goal. I wanted to be hidden at least a little. That's why I was in the tree in the first place.
And Einar turns and faces you. And he's going to try and talk?
So, Einar, as you attempt to speak,
Mm-hmm.
you make wolf noises.
Gotcha.
Insert wolf noises here.
I think my soul left my body.
Put it back. Put it back.
I feel like a wolf trying to have a casual conversation wouldn't sound like that.
You don't know how wolves sound. It's fine.
Yeah, that sound could mean
I have
you're
no
very
idea.
pretty.
I was talking to Sam. You're fine.
You see him pause, or you see the wolf pause, and he like cocks his head, and if a wolf could have a confused look, it has a confused look. You see him try again, slowly, and it probably just comes out more as a whine.
And at that moment, Val, Neros, and Alward crest the hill to find an oversized wolf snarling and whining at Zephyr, who is lying on the ground.
Which we don't look like ourselves.
We don't look like ourselves.
Right.
We have illusory disguise on us.
You were all 3 David, is that correct?
No.
I can't remember.
I okay, so I was David. I know I became unDavid and then became something else.
I'm Cecilia.
Oh, I like that.
Cecilia, unDavid, and
Cecilia sprints up to tackle the wolf.
I was going to say the wolf jumps in front of Zephyr with his back facing Zephyr and just growls at you, blocking your view of him.
360 no scope, just up and twist.
Yep.
So you go around to block Zephyr from us, and then Cecilia tries to come and tackle you.
Cecilia stops.
You just hear a low growl as he regards each of you.
Zephyr, why do you have a pet wolf?
Who are you?
Do our voices change too?
Hang
think
on.
so,
I
'cause
think
it's
so
fourth
because
level.
I
You
cast
looked
it
it
at
up.
force.
Yes.
I cast it at force level.
Force
Fourth
level.
level.
Fourth.
Mighty level.
You're
Yeah.
a space wizard?
I'm a space wizard.
Okay, so you hear from the grass just like popping up, just, who are you?
We're your friends.
Why does Cecilia sound like that?
Cecilia. Jeez.
It's Alwood.
You don't sound, or who's Alwood?
I sniff.
Does it change our smell?
I sniff.
They smell like strangers, Einar.
I don't know.
I don't know if Einar is familiar with the sense of his friend.
You should see him on his watch.
Einar sniffs us while we sleep. Canon.
Tell me
Not canon. No.
That's our one canon fact for the day.
No.
Anyway, I dismiss the spell because I can do that.
I'm still laying on the ground. Tell me something only Alward would know.
You can't read.
I don't think only Alward knows that.
Zephyr?
Yeah. Oh, Neros.
Sup.
Are you alright over there?
Einar's a wolf.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that's Einar.
Einar.
He put the thingy on, and I tried to take it off. Take it
The
off.
cloak?
Yes.
You're an idiot.
He's still a wolf. I don't know.
You
if
just
he can
hear a low growl and then a whine as he just gives a wolfy shrug.
I feel like that was definitely just, how dare you, but yeah.
Anyway, we need to go somewhere that's not around Tom Grove.
Are we not going to address the wolf in the room?
We could.
He can walk and wolf at the same time, yes?
We haven't gotten that far. It just happened.
We literally just saw him wrap around you. I'm sure he can walk and wolf.
Yeah, we know he can jump.
We
That's
have our
about it.
horses, right?
No.
Have you ever seen a wolf ride a horse?
I want to now.
We may have to abandon the horses. We need to get out of here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I left. I left.
Well, okay then.
Neros is like considerably more sobered up than the last time any of you saw her.
Alright, well, let's get going then.
Einar looks around for his pack or anything.
Did you just like hulk out of
As
your
in your
clothing?
storage pack.
Yes.
Okay. You're just a wolf.
Pack of compatriots.
You're a lone wolf.
He has wolf paws and looks for his pack.
My leather pack. Yeah, that works. Pouch.
Einar, do you think that you would have put your backpack or your storage stuff, do you think you would have taken that off, or would you had it on your person when you put on the cloak?
I would have had it on my person because I was wearing the cloak.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, in that case, your stuff is nowhere to be seen.
You see Einar just after all of you are, who you are, he stops growling, except for that one bit to Neros. And you see him kind of search around for his stuff and have a very confused look on his face.
What's he looking for?
Probably his stuff. He was
A
wearing
big
a lot
paw
of stuff.
just lifts up and points as best he can to your pack.
I
He's
think-
looking for your stuff.
I think we need to get going.
So, me as a person knows where his stuff is. Would Alward know?
I think in this case, the most applicable skill would be a nature check.
Gross. Not an
Nature.
occultism or...
Mm-mm.
My nature's plus 13.
Plus 13.
Yeah.
I want to make so many jokes.
Yeah, so Alward, you're aware that in situations like this, unless this ability works unusually, anything that was on his person will be unsubstantiated, stored in a pocket dimension. It goes with his form, and then whenever the spell is removed, it would return along with his form.
So Alward looks at you like, it's in your body. Kind of.
The big head just cocks.
You have your stuff. We gotta go.
Yes. Can you cast that on all of us? The spell again as we leave town so we can walk for a while and see.
Yeah, I can. Do you all want to be... He's already disguised, she says, pointing to Einar.
Who gets the pet wolf?
The wolf when you say that, he just goes over and stands by Neros.
Are we meeting with your family, or are they heading off on their own?
But they're dealt with. They're fine. They're safe.
What do you mean they're dealt with? That sounds ominous.
All right. I'm going to cast Illusory Disguise on all of you if you want it, and we can walk and talk.
Thank you.
Yes.
Poof.
I've always wanted an Irish accent. Concurrently using this in another campaign.
I love.
Jenkins, are you okay?
I'm fine.
He's the GM of that campaign.
Let's just go.
So I guess we're walking.
Out of town? More?
Yeah, away.
Towards
Joel, right?
I don't know. We didn't really plan.
We
were
just
gonna,
have to leave. That's all
Yeah,
I know.
We were gonna plan where we were gonna go here, but
Let's plan while we walk down this way.
Point of order, what would happen if you cast that on the wolf?
I don't think it can.
Would it just
Turn
be like
him-
a wolf
he
with
would
makeup on?
turn
or
into a
something?
dog,
a big
a
dog?
Pomeranian.
Or just a different wolf.
It would
Turn him into a
a large
Pomeranian.
Pomeranian. Because it would have to be around
You
the
just
same
hear
size,
this
wouldn't it?
low growl. If
Down,
you're
boy,
talking-
you're fine.
Einar, do you know how to turn that off?
That's a good question.
Or do you just really like being a wolf?
You just hear whine.
Oh, he doesn't know. Could we like grab his head and pull it back like doing the hood?
How
I
about
already tried that.
we wait to do that until we're away from town pretty far?
Okay, well, where are we off to?
Okay, so we know everyone is in Joel, who we need to take down.
Except
Odd ear.
Audir, who's in Tom Grove.
Yeah, because he is dealing with the company.
He isn't always in Tom Grove, but you did hear from Ryquist that he is currently in town.
Okay. Because he's the one who put the bounty on our heads, which I don't know if I've told you all that yet, but he's the one who put the bounty on our heads.
And we can't deal with him right now, so we should just head off to Joel.
Actually, Zephyr just pauses and kind of stands behind and says, "We may have more of a problem in this town than we first thought.
In Tom Grove?
It's gonna be a little difficult considering we are not welcome here. But I thought maybe this would take care of it, but now I'm not so sure. I believe the Bogeyman is still going to go after Albert's family no matter where they are."
You just hear a low growl.
I'm sorry. I thought he was going to have you do. That's why we were keeping you away from them.
So, the last time we spoke, he said that next time we meet, there will be a body, as I spoke to you. And I did not necessarily know what that meant, but now, considering I had maybe a small run-in in the forest, this may be something that may be happening in the next 24 hours.
I sent them away with a friend. I can't.
I know, and I really thought that might work. But after the initial that last encounter, I believe it indicated that something's going to happen regardless, and it may not be my fault, which I don't really want to be there for it. But if I have to help get rid of it, then I don't really know.
How do we deal with, like, I don't.
I have no clue. Last time I tried to kill the thing, it was like it didn't even exist there.
Neros, how long does this spell last?
An hour.
How many more times can you cast it today?
2.
I guess we're going to my friend's house.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault, Sophia.
I really thought getting them out of that house would do something, but
if you can figure out how to unchange yourself from a wolf, wait until we get to the house, Einar.
or just keep that wolf going and see if you can do some bites. Knives may not
Einar
work
just
on
looks
incorporeal
between you
forms,
two.
but teeth might.
And you just hear that growl, and he bares his fangs. But it also looks like a smile.
Alward is going to cast Time Sense so he knows how much longer they have on Neros' spell. And then he's going to start walking toward Rayquest's house.
She'd only just cast it.
I know, but I'm casting Time Sense to know exactly how long we have until it ends. Because part of Time Sense, which doesn't come up because it's almost useless, is I do get a bonus for synchronizing things, for actions that require synchronization. So I would assume...
You have 56 and a half minutes.
Okay.
Synchronize y'all.
Mine.
Sundials.
Sundials.
So, are
Holds
we
up
all,
a paw.
Are we all good on this?
Yeah. It sounds
We have to be. I
don't know.
it
guess.
sounds like we're at the point where we have to get this thing out here and deal with it.
How do we deal with the boogeyman?
Is there something we can do to like capture it or like summon him forth, like so he's actually a presence we can get rid of?
I can try to speak out to him, but I have a feeling he's going to be there regardless.
As you're all, especially as Nero says, how do we deal with them? Again, you just hear a very deep growl next to you, but this time hackles are going up. The fangs are not smiling, they are just open, and anger and madness seem to mix into his eyes.
All right, so if I'm understanding correctly, the party is heading off to Ryquist's house,
I am. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
and Einar is still in wolf form.
Yeah.
Val's gonna look through what she has to see if she has anything that could help out with some sort of like pulling this boogeyman into his state that we can deal with. She's just gonna start like looking through books that she has.
To like make him a corporeal thing.
Yeah, kind of like what we did with Corvus,
Oh,
like
yeah.
summoning it essentially. So then, like, if we have to deal with this thing now in order for Alward's family to be safe, then we have to make him on our playing field.
Does anybody have identify? I know it's a Pokemon move.
What is your nature bonus, Val?
Me, 12. Like I use music lore.
Y'all know identify. Identify lets you cast physical attacks on a ghost type Pokemon, right? Y'all know that?
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, well, I'm a nerd.
Val, as you're kind of flipping through your books and running back through what you know in your memory, you're not able to come up with any form of ritual or anything that would be able to force an incorporeal creature of this type to be vulnerable to your attacks.
Yeah.
I have 15 in occultism. I don't know if that does anything at all.
Not in this case, no.
What's the check?
Nature.
11.
All right. Einar, you know that boogeymen are vulnerable to attacks with silvered weapons.
But
You have the spear
that's
on
only
you, don't you?
if we have it actually appear in person. It might not appear in person, and then we can't deal with it. from
I'm
how
not
it
sure if
sounds.
it's never appeared not in person because
Val,
we've never attacked
Yeah, I
with
have,
a silver
I have
weapon.
the spear.
Einar, you just feel Einar grab the spear off your back
No,
with his
stop it! Stop it!
His muzzle.
he just pulls it off,
She grabs. Let go.
and then he just points at it with his paw, the tip.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully you get there. That's all he can do.
Shadow plane lore or underworld lore? Would either of those help?
Technically, neither of those lores are relevant. However, what I'm considering here is the fact that you have a history with this creature. So I'm trying to think if you have something relevant. Let's do this. What is your underworld lore bonus?
14.
We're going to go ahead and call this a plus 14 bonus of you specifically rolling over all of the times that you've interacted with this creature in your mind to try to see if you can come up with a relevant answer for that question, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So this is pulling not off of your study and research, but off of your personal experience with the creature. Beat the DC by 1.
Oh,
Very nice.
So as you think back on your previous encounters with this creature, Zephyr, you remember the first time that he appeared for the party to see in the vaults, and you remember slashing at him with your dagger. And as you think back to it, your dagger just missed him as he stepped back quickly. But he stepped back as if avoiding your blade.
Right.
Then you think back to the time that you called on him in the hotel, and you remember the sounds of his feet on the footboards. You remember the time way back before you even met the party when you found footprints. And you realize he's never been incorporeal, he's been invisible.
My face just dropped. Like I felt gravity just pull the corners of my mouth down.
I don't like that.
He's right there.
I don't like that at all.
As Zephyr comes to these realizations, he just mutters under his breath, "What a coward." Then he looks up and he relays this to them. He's just like, he's always been there. He might be here now.
Or with Alward's family.
Could be. But he's in physical form no matter what.
Well, we should get going.
Perception check.
I guess we've been going, haven't we? Val's gonna pick up pace.
Einar, what are you trying to perceive, and what is your bonus?
My bonus is 16, and what I'm going to try and perceive is if he can make footprints, he can also possibly leave sound or look or indentations, anything.
Would this be a 15-foot burst around you or a 30-foot cone in front of you? This is a seek action.
He's going to circle the party. He's a wolf.
So, Einar, let's say that as the party is moving, you're using like an exploration action to just remain aware.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of tap into your new wolf instincts, and you begin finding yourself aware of things that you didn't even realize you could be aware of. As like when the other three came up in disguise, and you kind of sniffed a little bit, and you were like, they're unfamiliar, they're strangers. The more you're kind of just paying attention and just tapping into those wolf instincts, the more confident you feel in your ability to track and your ability to use those hunter's abilities. And you feel confident that the boogeyman is nowhere nearby.
Okay. After circling and you see him searching, he just comes back up next to Neros. And if anybody looks at him, he just shakes his head.
My dagger that I have, I feel like we've looked at this before, but I know that the handle is ivory, but what is the actual blade made of?
It is a steel alloy,
Okay.
but it is very decoratively etched and engraved with like Celtic knot kind of designs.
So you say it's an alloy. Doesn't that mean it's a mixture of metals?
Mhm.
So it's a steel and what?
Steel and undetermined. It's not quite the right color for a pure steel. It's a bit darker and has a browner hue.
Is there a lore I can do for that?
I have done so many crafting checks on this already.
I have a plus 14
I know
crafting,
it's from
so I'd love
Cheliax.
to try
I
it.
know.
No.
Nothing?
Might be some kind of a copper or bronze. You're not sure.
Okay. It's probably just mud packed in there. During the walk, you can tell that Zephyr's pace is slower than usual, still trying to keep up with you, but he is very lost in thought. His eyes are a light blue, as mentioned in the last episode, and he's just like erratically just staring in different directions, and he's kind of shaking, and his demeanor is just it's quite mute, but at the same time he looks very unstable, and like if you tap him he could just kill you on the spot potentially. Like a very, very full balloon.
We watch as our party of 4 strangers and a wolf make their way through Tomgrove into the nicer part of town. The gas lamps along the road light the path well as you approach what Alward is familiar with as Ryquist's house.
I don't know if we all should go inside at first. I'm just... and I'm gonna knock on his door. I'm gonna knock again.
Einar does a perimeter check again.
I was gonna just put her hand on Zephyr's shoulder very gently.
Zephyr turns around and he grabs Val's hand and holds onto it tightly.
Okay, she'll pull you in close.
But not that tightly.
Well, just so that you're comforted.
As the two of you are trying to navigate how close Zephyr will stand, the door kind of opens a crack and Ryquist peers one eye out suspiciously and then is just like, It's late. What do you want?
I'm sorry, my old friend. Let me in, please.
No, I don't think so. Come back in the morning, or better yet, see me in my office during office hours.
Master Ryquist, you have my family. They're in danger. Let me in.
Alward?
Yes, oh, right. Yeah. I am Alward. These are my compatriots. There's a wolf around your house. Please let us in.
Ryquist flings the door open and is like, quick, get inside. I don't see the wolf. It looks like you lost it.
The wolf is with us.
He looks between each of you and he's like, is one of you a wolf in disguise?
That's when Einar comes around the corner.
Is that wolf with you?
Yes. I'm so sorry to do this to you. My family's in a lot of danger. There might be a fight here. I'm so sorry.
Is that because of the wolf?
No, the wolf is fine. It's because of him, and then I point to Zephyr.
You just said it wasn't my fault.
It's not your fault, but
I
he's
knew
following
we couldn't
you.
trust you.
No, not like that.
Don't even know who I am.
Did I perceive anything?
No. No. 16.
Einar, as you are rounding back around the front of the house, you haven't noticed anything until you catch just a whiff of something sour on the breeze, just as you've lapped around to the front of the house again. It's a scent that you haven't smelled yet, and it's unfamiliar, so it kind of draws your attention. And as you're focusing on it, I'm going to need you to make a will save.
I knew the boogeyman smelled like coleslaw.
The wolf is dead.
29.
It's not bad.
Sorry, pal.
Not bad.
Oh.
If I rolled a 15 on the die and I still fail with a plus 14, there's problems.
Sorry, pal.
Yep.
Could I have everyone else take their headphones off?
No.
Oh.
I don't mind.
Einar, as you are focusing on that sour scent on the wind, you're just suddenly struck by the sound of hearing a scream from behind you. You glance back at the rest of the party, and you see that everyone behind you is suddenly lying on the ground, still and lifeless. And you're just struck with this chilling terror through your core as you realize that despite your best efforts, they all have died, and you have failed them. You blink and you shake your head, and suddenly your vision clears and everything is back to normal. You still have a sense of dread in your gut, but you realize that you've just seen through some form of illusion. And you all can come back now.
Did he see the pile of coleslaw in the corner?
We don't talk about that. Master Ryquist is very, very particular.
And he is very, very wide opened. Eyes wide opened.
I think out of everyone else in the party, Neros is the only person who may have just witnessed Einar's reaction. Neros, do you feel like you might have been looking at Einar?
Sure.
Well, he was rounding the corner.
So, Neros, what you see is Einar the wolf comes around the corner of the house and just kind of looking around, tracking, and then he stops and sniffs upwind as if he's smelling something. And then he whirls around looking back at the house, and you're familiar enough with animals. He looks terrified. And then he blinks and shakes his head. And then Sven, I imagine Einar just looks very relieved.
Mm-hmm. I might add something to that.
Yeah.
Because you, for a brief moment, hear an ungodly howl of despair.
What did you see?
Despair?
Despair. And then, Neros, you see him shake his head and changed from terror to relief to rage as he swirls in the direction that the scent's coming from.
And that is not the house that you're directing at?
It's away from the house. So just kind of backing up a little bit and giving the image of this picture, we've got Ryquist's house cozy and lit by lamplight, and everyone else is kind of standing in the doorway beginning to move inside. And Einar is now as in the form of a massive wolf, just, his back to the house protectively, growling out into the nighttime darkness of the streets.
Val's gonna start heading back outside after he howled very loudly. You guys go check on Alward's family. And she's gonna pull out her spear.
Take Saphir with you. Miss, where is my family?
Well, they were just getting ready for bed.
Okay.
Can I seek the direction he just pointed?
Sure. What is your perception bonus?
13.
And while I'm rolling that, Zephyr and Neros, what are you doing?
I am following along to whomever pulls me, as I have no decision making at this very moment. And if nobody pulls me, I'm just standing still.
So I think Alward had just said, Val, take Zephyr with you. Val, are you doing anything to bring Zephyr, or are you just going?
Val was just going, because
Okay.
she told Zephyr to go inside with Alward and started leaving immediately.
And Neros.
Are we leaving the house?
Val and Einar are standing outside the house with a vague awareness of where the threat is coming from. And Alward is going inside at the moment. I believe Zephyr is just standing just in between both.
Yeah, about midway between Val and Einar and the house door.
I'm just going to approach Einar and stand on his other side.
Val, you decided you wanted to seek in the same direction. Now kind of given a vague range by...
Wolfnir? Wolfnir?
Wolfnir.
By given a vague range by Wolfnir, you are looking out into the darkness, and at this point you feel pretty comfortable of determining where the Bogeyman is not, but you haven't been able to pinpoint where he is. You're looking out into about 20 feet of courtyard, which is reasonably well lit, and with your angelic eyes, you're able to see in the dark, but you don't have a line of sight. You don't see where this figure is. But as you're stepping up next to Einar, Val and Neros, I'm going to need each of you to make a will save.
Oh, jeez.
Oh boy! Here I go, saving again. Is this a fear effect?
I don't like that face, Abby. Is that a good face or a bad face? Oh. It's a bad face? Oh, no. I don't like that face, Abby. Hero point? Vigorously shaking her head.
Yeah. I see the dice.
What is it?
It's a 2.
It's a 2.
Will save.
A whole 2.
Turn in this hero point and re-roll that. Maybe change dice.
Thought you were going to say change your underwear.
What is up with you?
Petite, your head is in a specific space right now.
I heard change and I thought...
Wait, Sam just gave me a hero point. Sam, what'd you roll?
A 5. Oh boy, I replaced it with an 8.
We're meant to be terrified.
You're less dead, but you still...
Why?
What'd she get this time?
Why?
5? At least it's better than a 2.
You just took Sam's roll. You shouldn't have given it away.
My roll now is, my total is 23.
Mine is 20. I don't like the way you're looking at me.
Trying to decide who to go first.
Could I also have Sigrun be seeking?
Yeah.
Do you want your bird to be
Oh,
traumatized?
she'll be flying around seeking as well.
Before we get to Sigrun, let's do Val first. If I could get everyone else to take their headphones off.
Oh. Wait, even Nero's?
Val, as you are peering out into the darkness, piercing it with your angelic eyesight and just keeping an eye out for this abomination, this creature, you hear a voice, a very familiar voice. Hertha, you've been running for too long, but I found you. As you see Hamir, exactly as you remember him, walking out of an alleyway towards you. I'm now gesturing. Sam, put your headphones back on. Abby, take yours off. Okay. At the same time as that, Neros, you are peering out into the darkness, at the ready for whatever might come, when you look down and notice that your locket is missing. And just almost out of instinct, you reach for your bag where you keep the letter from your parents. That's missing too. And as you go to look in the bag, you look down at your hands, and the black is swiftly creeping up your arm, up, and just covering your body and moving its way up your neck. And that's where we're going to end this episode.
I love you, but right now I kind of hate you.
I feel
Same.
like we all feel that way.
Same, bro.
And the hero point for this episode goes to Sven for playing Einar in the way that Einar would play and embracing his wolf side. I really personally appreciated how you played Einar as a wolf and not just Einar looks like a wolf now, has different stats.
Wolfnar.
Can we all have a howl in solidarity?
I refuse.
Yeah. I'll give you a wow, but no how.
I was ready.
Let's do a wow of appreciation. Wow.
That's a
Fight it.
That's a wolf wow.
Well, thank you, everybody. I do have this sudden urge to go chew on something. So,
Isn't that what you're always doing?
We've talked about this. Stop chewing on the sofa.
And we'll see you all in the next episode. This has been an Atomic Broadcasting production. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to give us some support by liking, commenting, and following. These things really do make a difference in getting the word out and helping our community grow. Also, make sure to check us out on Threads and check out the Discord server, where you can chat with other fans and discuss all the recent developments and happenings. Links to all these good things in the description below. The Written in the Lost is an original story that uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's fan content policy. Atomic Broadcasting and The Written in the Lost are not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Hope to see you all in the next episode. Until then, have an atomic time.
It's not
Don't
a good.
poke
It's
him
not
or
a
he'll
good
blow up.
metaphor.
I know what you're getting at, but it's just a funny
I
image
do
of
too.
Sophia
Yeah, just-
walking around like a big balloon.
I haven't pooped in like 4 days.
It's TMI, Sophia. I didn't need to know that.
The bathroom doesn't have a mirror. You can't watch yourself.
What?
Never mind. Cut that out.
Sophia, you worry me sometimes.
Jordy, didn't you say you were gonna bounce off of that? And
I was gonna bounce, but then we went to a place I don't want to touch.
Gonna bounce off his balloon.
boing.
Oh, I wish.